Yeah.
Mhm.
You like what you do?
I love what I do.
Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Married or single?
No comment.
No, it's a question. What do you think for others?
For others,
What do you think is a better life, married or single?
I think it's unique. I think marriage works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody.
True.
I think it really kind of comes down to the person. I think that just saying being married in general doesn't always work. Because being married to the wrong person is awful.
Disastrous, huh?
It's horrible. But I think also marriage, the institution brings a level of stability that dating someone doesn't have. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, one bad fight, you guys move out, or if you're not even living together, it's really an afternoon could end that relationship. If you're
Right.
married,
Right.
you have joint bank accounts, you have kids, you have maybe a business you run together. There's a lot that goes in it. You start thinking about the process of the divorce and how long it'll take and how much money it's going to cost.
And if there's kids.
And there's kids and splitting up the household and everything else like that. It makes you think twice in terms of splitting up with that person and say, okay, well, let's try to work it out. Now, obviously, a lot of people get divorced, so it doesn't always work. But I think more people break up from their boyfriend or girlfriend than get divorced.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
So do you think, back onto the marriages, do you think people give up too easy nowadays on marriage because they can? Or do you think...
I think it's always been the same.
You do?
I think it's always been the same.
What about like our grandparents that stayed together forever? There wasn't this.
But I think there was more of a necessity back then. I think that, if a woman can't get a job, what is she going to do if she gets divorced? Plus, there's also a stigma about divorced women.
That's true.
That's not really there anymore.
That is not there.
You know what I mean? Like a divorcee is not considered like someone with a plague in 2023 like it was in 1953.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or a woman who has a child is not considered as undesirable as she was in 1953. You know what I'm saying?
Million.
And you'd have to settle and so forth. So I think, there's a lot more women in the workplace. There's more women going to college. There's more millionaire women. There's more Oprahs out there these days that don't feel like they have to get married if they don't want to because they have their own money. So I think in terms of that, it's different. But ultimately, if you put the same situation now to then, you'd probably have the same level of breakups. Ultimately, if you can't stand the person, you can't stand the person.
So if we don't know if you're married or single, is it important to you that the woman has her own money?
I mean, if you're in a serious relationship, it doesn't matter whose money it is. It's all family money.
Yeah.
I've never been...
Oh, God, we're going to love hearing this.
Yeah, I mean, I've, in my adult life, I've never done the 50-50 thing with women. Like the last time I did 50-50 was with my girlfriend in college. But we were broke college students.
Right.
We had a little bit of money. Our parents were both helping us out. So yeah, I mean, we split 50-50 because there was nothing coming in. We were going to college and paying tuition and so forth. But as an adult, I never asked women, a woman that I was seeing to pay half the rent or pay the bills or split dinners or anything else like that. I felt as the man, that was my job to cover all that. And I felt that if I was in the right relationship, I would do better overall and it would matter even less.
Did you ever come across a woman who was offended that, no, I don't need your money, like they wanted to pay 50-50?
Not really. not really. And in fact, I remember one of my relationships it was with a girl from Indonesia whose family came from a lot of money. And she would pay for more stuff. And I remember she said if we ever got married, that her family would buy us a house and so forth. And I didn't really like that idea. It rubbed me a little bit wrong because it's like, well, then we'll be living in your family's house. So I can get kicked out of my own house. I don't know. To me, it was almost like a pimp mentality that I never really liked. You see what I'm saying? It's like, even if a woman made more money, I wouldn't expect her to really do that. I would just be more more motivated to make more money than her. You see what I'm saying? It's that type of thing.
But would it kill you if no matter what, you couldn't make more money than her as a man?
I don't know. I think there's still, I think I have more traditional kind of values that would be weird to me. Like I said, I've only done it once where I've dated someone that did have more money than me. You know, and to me it was a motivating factor because I remember the first time I drove a BMW was her BMW. And after we broke up, I bought the same type of BMW for myself because I liked it and I wanted it for myself. But I was never wanted to just have her car and be happy with it. I wanted my own car.
Would you be resentful? Would that eat away at you if...
I don't know if I'd be resentful. I mean, look, you don't know who you're going to fall in love with. You don't know who you're going to hook up with. You know, at some point in my life, you know, if I meet someone who's a billionaire as a female and we really click and everything else like that, I'd have to just accept things for what they are, you know. But it's not something that I strive for, search for, or I look for. And I never really have.